So I thought I would take a few minutes to do another video. The girls are down for their nap and I'm just taking a minute to myself. One of the reasons that I started Momming Modernly was because I thought it would be fun to add some content and value to this community. One thing that I didn't ever see out there was someone who had a similar breastfeeding journey. I see a lot of pictures that support normalized breastfeeding, which I wholeheartedly support. And then I see pictures of a mother and child at feeding time, and you can tell it's special and like there's a huge connection there. And that just wasn't my journey. I hated breastfeeding. And everyone around me was either loving it or they were like fine, like they didn't care either way. I didn't like it. And I didn't go into it feeling like that. I thought when I was pregnant with Piper that I was very hopeful. Like I knew that I wanted to try it, and if it didn't work out, I thought it would be because of like a latch issue or I didn't produce enough milk. But neither of those were our case. Like she latched fine, I produced more than enough milk. But during delivery, I had broken my tailbone, so sitting for feedings, especially early on when the feeding times are really long, I was very uncomfortable. But as time went on, that got better and I still wasn't liking it. And everyone's like, you know, the recommended is 6 months. You really should go to 6 months. And I'm like, I don't know, I can make it 6 months. And I was at her pediatrician appointment. She was 3 months old, and my pediatrician was like, you know, if you want to stop, like she's gonna be totally fine and you need to be happy. So if it's gonna make you happy to stop, you should. And I wish that I had been strong enough to say you're right, and I should have just stopped then. But I felt a lot of pressure from society, if you will, to continue, like that I was doing her some type of disservice, or like that I would be potentially like taking something from her. So what I did was I did a ton of research on formulas, and I found a European brand which I really liked, and there's a few out there that are really good. If you need any help or anything, let me know. They're very different from American formulas. And so I found one, and I decided that I would supplement one bottle in the afternoon just to kind of give myself a break. And I did that from 4 months to 6 months. And then it was 6 months and 2 days, and I woke up and I was like, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And I just stopped cold turkey, which I do not recommend at all. You should wean. And then, so I stopped breastfeeding, and then a month later, I got pregnant with Essie. And I was totally shocked by that, and not really in a good way. Like I was really struggling with how I was going to handle 2 kids. And one of the first things I thought about was, oh, I'm gonna have to breastfeed again. And then the duration of my pregnancy, I kind of was like dreading it. And because there was such little time between when I stopped with Piper and got pregnant, my hormones were just crazy, I never lost my milk supply. So right away, like she ate great. She had a tiny tongue tie, but it ended up working itself out, and I still hated it. And I didn't really know what to do, because now it was worse because I had a toddler running around as I'm confined to a chair, and both times I wasn't ever like comfortable feeding in front of people. And through both times, I also had, my house was under renovation, so I had anywhere from 2 to 5 guys here every day. So coupled with not feeling comfortable feeding in front of people, it just became like this, like I had to map out my morning of where in the house I was gonna be so that I could be private. And then Piper would like destroy, because she was confined, destroy any room that we were in. And it just became like this thing that I dreaded doing. And of course, like, neither child felt that negativity, but it was, to me, it was like, oh, I gotta feed in like 10 minutes. And oh, like, I just would wake up dreading it. I did introduce formula to Essie like 1 bottle a day earlier because I knew that I was only gonna go to 6 months. And that 6 months felt really long the second time. And I felt like I was wishing the 6 months away so that I could be done. But on the other side of that, like, I really liked the infant stage and I didn't want to feel that way. And looking back, I just wish that I had been strong enough. I wish that I had more support and that it would have been okay, because it totally would have been. So I just wish I had done what I wanted to do and cared less about what anybody else thought. My kids are happy and healthy, and I don't think that's because I breastfed till 6 months. I think it's just because they come from a loving environment. And I encourage you, if you do feel this way, to just stop, because they're going to be totally fine. And if you love breastfeeding, I'm envious of you, and you're very lucky to feel that way, and so is your baby. But neither is right or wrong. And I hope that this has empowered somebody. And if not, thanks for listening.